What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. And this came out yesterday, and it was the Supreme Court ends Biden's eviction moratorium. Okay, this is nothing new. We've been hearing about this a lot. Now, first thing is the CDC was the one who put guidance on this and suggested that they shouldn't kick out people from their homes, which I don't know what the CDC has anything to do with evictions, but lo and behold, it happened. But anyways, now the Supreme Court ended it, and now this is gonna create a snowball effect, I think, because first of all, stimulus might be ending soon. I don't know if it already ended or not, or regardless, people are being paid by the government to stay at home. What happens when that is cut off and they no longer have a way of providing an income? And if in the first place they weren't paying for their rent, now, I mean, it creates a bigger issue, because now, what if they're kicked out of their homes? Now, it's going to take a couple months for everything to pan out. It's not going to happen overnight, because there's a lot, court cases, a lot of paperwork that probably has to be filled out. But anywho, these people, first of all, if they weren't paying the rent and they're living off of like stimulus money or whatnot and weren't actually working, well, what if the stimulus ends? Okay, now that creates an even bigger issue. But by having this stimulus and this monetary heroin, like George Gambon says, you're creating, or you're delaying the inevitable. Okay, I know people might say, "Oh, you know what? But it's good that these people were able to live under a roof." And yeah, I agree with that. But at the same time, it's creating an even bigger issue. I don't think people understand that this becomes 10 times worse down the road when you create monetary heroin and you get people addicted to getting free money. And also with people who can't pay their rent, if you're letting them live there for free, but there's, spending money elsewhere, it gets people accustomed to this and dependent on the government. And that's a very scary issue, because when people become dependent on the government, that gives the government a lot of power. Okay? And if history is any indication as to giving government too much power, I don't know what else is. Milton Friedman once said, if you let the government take control of the Sahara Desert, and they were in charge of all the sand in the Sahara Desert, you would see that there would be a shortage of sand in the Sahara Desert. That just goes to show that when you put the government in charge of everything, things go south. You can't give government too much power. And that's historically, it has been the case. Okay? Now, with these evictions, a lot of people, folks, I'm telling you, you gotta be looking out for these like news articles that are coming out, because you've been hearing it all along, but you've been so desensitized to it because you've heard it so much. You're like, whatever, it's never gonna happen, yada yada. It's something they always talk about. But when it does happen, and it just did happen, you just wait a couple months this winter, and the following year it's gonna get scary. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff happening. I put out a video yesterday about the Pentagon warning about a U.S. attack. A lot is happening, and September could be a crazy month. I'm not saying it's going to be crazy. I'm saying it's set up to potentially be a crazy month. But the next coming months, the next coming 6 months, the next coming 12 months, a lot of things are going to start giving way. And I'm showing you guys, I decided to start doing something like this because I think it's important for you guys to be aware of the news at hand, because it affects you and it affects your investments. And we know the day of reckoning, when the lender of last resort, XRP, will come to the forefront, because all these events are signaling for a great crisis, potentially worse than the Great Depression. Potentially weird. Like I mentioned in yesterday's video with Dan Pena, he showed a chart of the marginal debt, highest since World War II, or higher than almost double, or levels of debt are very high. Okay. And sorry, what I meant was the marginal debt levels were almost double what it was in the dot-com era. So, yeah, we're in very interesting times. So, keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. Hope this episode has brought you some value. Like and subscribe, comment below. What are your thoughts? As always, I like hearing from you. Comment below. Let me see what you think. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.